Bienvenidos, bienvenue a Kwaba Dobro Jalovat. One yin. My people, it has been a while. You know what I mean? Yes, it has been a while. And this is story time with Diane Dixon. Well, I've been so busy, guys, and it's a good thing, but I mean, I have to keep up with the story because, I tell you time and time again, you guys will just get into other things and get into the busy process of life and all it gives. You know what I mean? So, we're here again to continue Strong Love by Donovan Chin, affectionately called D Chin. And we did part 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now it's time for part 5. Okay, guys? Everybody all right? This long time girl and boy me not see who knew. Come make we chat story. Big up Miss Lou every time, our cultural icon that could never be forgotten. She lives within me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need to do more Miss Lou stuff. I mean, I've really been dropping off because of the dramatics. Like, yeah, touring with Once Upon a Crime with Juki, Jam, and Bashi, Maxwell Grant, Swavian, Laverne Williams, and yours truly. Yeah, we've been doing the do with that. We've been to Mount Vernon, Queens, Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut. Hopefully we're heading to Canada in September. So if you have friends and loved ones in Canada, tell them to watch out for Once Upon a Crime. It's going there September 6th by the grace of God. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight it's time for part 5. Now, I'm not sure you've been keeping up with the Joneses and, getting into this story, knowing the characters, and just becoming completely immersed in strong love. Now, what's love got to do with it? Microphone check. Check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me stop horsing around. Anyway, it's bloody hot in here, especially with this ring light, you know what I mean? And then I got another light on here. Yes, I've been doing it in the hallway. I mean, telling the story in the hallway. And now I've been doing it in the living room because somebody have to live in there. You know what I mean? Our parents used to have the living room as a sacred place where nobody can sit down there because the chair them full of plastic. Plastic up the chair them, white carpet. Nobody can sit down in there. Me don't know what it was for it name living rooms or somebody have to live in there. Alright guys, so let me continue with the story. Fun, we will talk to you later. Let me see if I can just make you blow upon me while I tell the story. Tired, be tired. Okay. So guys, I mean, I had one comment and said it's a good story. I'm like, come on guys, I know you're watching and you could say something. Don't just roll your eyes and not say a word. Say something, no man. Tired for beg, but now I'm begging her no more. Okay, so last time we were with this character of a man that left his wife at home. She made dinner and he was out with some other woman named Gabrielle, and poor wifey was up waiting for him, and and I said no. Okay, so the next day, Milton Davis, Gabrielle's father, was at his house standing in the living room on his phone, looking at his watch. You are supposed to be here already. And you are telling me you are coming? Where are you? Gabriel was just about to pull up in his driveway. Dad, I am here. Just let me park. By the time Richard opened the front door, she was getting out of the car. She walked up to her dad and said, Dad, why are you so impatient? You are something else, you know. That's almost an end time, Mrs. He stepped aside as she made her way into the living room. He just looked at her, shook his head, and closed the door as he followed her inside. She walked to the kitchen, took a glass, opened the fridge, poured herself some carrot juice, and drank half of it. Her father stood there looking at her, then said, You're welcome. Huh. Gabriel said, I know. Then she walked to the living room and sat on the leather couch. She looked at her father, who is looking at her, shaking his head in disbelief. Gabriel said, Are you going to just stand there looking at me all evening? She motioned for him to come and sit on the couch next to her. Milton walked over and sat beside her and said, Why are you here? Are you coming to tell me you are getting married or something? Gabriel replied, I am here to ask, what are you doing with yourself? Every time I turn around, you have some other younger girl. Milton got up and walked to the fridge and got a bottle of beer. Gabriel said loud enough for him to hear her from the kitchen, Dad, did you hear me? He returned and took his seat next to her. If you are talking about last night, him said, she is an adult and I am an adult, and there is nothing wrong with two adults getting together. Gabriel turned to look at her father and said, So what about mommy? He said, What about her? Is this what you came to talk about, Gabriel? Gabriel got disturbed and said, She is not a this. She is my mother and she is your wife. He replied, And I thought you came here because you are concerned about me. Dad, can you answer my question? What about mommy? Can you look me in my eyes and tell me you feel nothing for her? He got up and walked away again and said, I think you should leave now. This is just a waste of time. She got up and followed him, pulled his shoulder from behind and walked in front of him and said, I am not leaving, Daddy. You guys have to stop this nonsense. He made his way around her, went to the fridge, got another beer, talking to himself as he got the magnetic opener from outside of the fridge door. Coming over here, telling me what to do with my life. Miss Psychologist, Miss Know-It-All, I have nothing to discuss with you or anyone for that matter. I am fine with my life. And I hope everyone is fine with theirs. Gabriel took a deep breath to calm herself a little. Daddy, I am your daughter. Who cares about you? Why are you being like this? Milton sipped his beer. What do you know about being betrayed by someone you trust? Tell me. What you know about that, little girl? Gabrielle took the beer from her father and took a sip, then put her hand around his waist and walked him back to the living room. She tried her best to calm him down. Dad, you are not being fair, you know. If she did not get married, she couldn't send for you and I. Now that we are in America, we both know what it's like. Being here without a green, we both know what it's like being here without a green card. It's not easy, Daddy, and we both know it because people take all kind of advantage of you, especially when you don't have a job. The sacrifices people have to just have a roof, the sacrifices people have to make just to have a roof over their heads, clothes to wear, and food to eat sometime is monstrous. Milton walked over to the kitchen window and pulled up the shades and looked through the window while talking. Well, she did not have to get pregnant, and to make matters worse, she came to Jamaica and married me and still did not tell me she had a child for another man. How you expect me to feel? Tell me, Gabrielle, how you expect me to feel? Gabrielle said, Mommy said the man offered her a place to stay and she took it because when she lost her job, she had no place to stay. He was good to her. The man loved her so much that he wanted to marry her. So she did it just to get her papers. One thing led to another and she got pregnant. Every time she talked about how she used the man that was kind to her, it made her feel very bad. And she did it all for us. Daddy, it was about survival, man. Do you have any idea what could have happened to her so far away from home without any family members to help? Milton still looking through the kitchen window to avoid looking at Gabrielle. He said, You just want to take up for your mother. And look how hard I worked to send you to school in Jamaica. I alone worked hard to make sure you had everything you needed to get a good education. And you come here making excuses for her? Gabrielle raised her voice and said, But Dad, you are not any better. You got a woman pregnant in Jamaica and you married Mommy and never said a word. Even after you came to this country. What a whole heap of mix up and go on. Ooh! Regular schmegula. Milton turned to look at her and replied, You can't blame me. I did not hear from her for almost a year. One digga year. Me I tell you, one digga year. You can't be faithful to your love of your life. How should I know that she had still wanted me? How would I have known that she still had interest in me? Gabrielle said, You think it is easy to call from America to tell somebody in Jamaica they don't live anywhere? That you don't live nowhere? There is something called pride, Daddy. Milton took another beer from the fridge, open and sip it, and said, So how you know so much? Boy, Milton, drink a whole heap of beer tonight and we'll be running to the bathroom. Him say, how you know so much? Hey, Dad, I love you very much, she said, and I appreciate everything you did for me when we couldn't hear from Mommy. but she sent money to buy the minibus. So she helped you. Yeah, she helped you that you could care for me. Furthermore, even if you did not hear from her, she made sure we had means of survival. Think about that. Milton held the bottle to his head and drank the entire bottle of beer all at once. Then he put the bottle down on the kitchen table and walked back to stare out the window. Gabrielle walked over and put her arm on his shoulder. Lisa kept the appointment with her hairdresser, getting her hair done. It was a busy Saturday afternoon, and all the 15 chairs in the shop were filled. Many women and girls were waiting, and while doing so, some of them were watching big screen TV that was mounted on the wall, while conversations of all kinds continued among everyone. So before we go into the next phase of Lisa going to the hairdresser, we're going to stop there. Okay, so we were into Gabrielle and her dad's conversation, and we're going to stop there. That has been part 5 of Strong Love by Donovan Chin. So tune in next time, my brothers and my sisters and everybody. You see my nice outfit too. I love it, but it's not shown much because I'm sitting in a different area. But I love this outfit. I do. Anyway, I just do shakara for una. Hey. So my brothers and my sisters, tune in next time to Storytime with Diane Dixon for part 6 of Strong Love. I'm sorry to be keeping you all in suspense so long, but we're gonna do better because now we kind of slow down with the play. So we're gonna get to some parts of this story. So to all my listeners and my silent spectators, have a blessed and wonderful weekend. It's Diane Dixon, and it's story time with Diane Dixon. Have a good night. Adios. Sayonara. Dos vidania. I'm out.